Hello everyone. Welcome to Jigyasa Wireless video tutorial series on BWSim-5G. In this video, we are going to take a deep dive into line of sight propagation. First, you'll understand what LOS links are, then the need for a probability model for LOS. Finally, we will analyze the probability model in BWSim-5G by changing parameters such as terrains, carrier frequency and base station height. So what are LOS links? Of the several links between transmitter and receiver, those links where the receiver is in direct view of the transmitter are called as LOS links. Since the receiver is in the direct view of transmitter, the transmitted signals do not get bounced off of different objects, thereby undergo multipath fading. Because of this, it has a high SNR. Due to the high SNR, high data rate communication can be facilitated between transmitter and receiver in these LOS links. Some of the applications which were not possible in earlier generations of wireless communication and now possible in 5G due to its massive number of antennas and huge bandwidth, millimeter wave bandwidth, are like positioning. These sort of applications require presence of a LOS link because take positioning for example. It involves the estimation of angle and time. In non-line of sight links, there is a bias in these calculations, thereby deteriorating the entire process of positioning. However, in the presence of LOS, you could get accurate positioning results. Similarly, other applications like CSI compression and feedback, rank and condition number analysis, and beam learning, we require the presence of LOS link. Thereby, we need probability model to determine the presence of LOS link between the transmitter and receiver. This is where 3GPP comes into picture, where it has defined LOS probability model for each terrain. Now, in this experiment, we are going to use those models to check sort of a relationship this probability of LOS has with other parameters. First, we are going to change the terrains and observe the probability model. So now the simulations required for the first observation to be made is complete. Let's take a look into the parameter in question, probability of LOS. If you can see here, the probability of LOS existence in RMA is higher than the uh, probability of UMA and UMI. That is, it's more probable for a line of sight path to exist in a rural scenario than in the urban scenario. This can be attributed to the fact that the rural scenario is devoid of buildings and other such tall structures, that may act as obstruction between the transmitter and receiver, whereas in either of the urban cases, they are densely populated with such tall structures. Now we move on to the second observation where we change the carrier frequency. We start with 800 and move on with other frequencies. We have completed a simulation for the four different carrier frequencies, and if you could note that they remain the same irrespective of the different carrier frequencies. So what do we understand from this phenomenon? We have completed a simulation for the four different carrier frequencies, and if you could note that they remain the same physical parameter and the frequency has nothing to do with it. Thereby, we can say there is no relationship between carrier frequency and probability of LOS existence. Final observation, we are going to change the base station height. In this final observation that we make is what happens when we change the base station height. To understand that the LOS link exists between the transmitter and receiver are in the direct view of each other. However, the increasing the transmitter height alone will not have an effect on the other obstructions that stand between the path of transmitter and receiver. The reason behind which we are getting the same plot for different kinds of base station height. Now that we have completed three observations, I hope you have a clear understanding over the concept of LOS links. I'll meet you again with another experiment and its implementation on BWSim-5G with another video. For any doubts, you can contact the Jigyasa team for clarification.